Sometimes at night, I hear their bodies hitting the ground.
Oh, wow. It's time to say good morning to our first guest today for the week. You can say, why are you laughing? Why is that voice?
That's
I put the DJ voice on. You can watch us on Global Player and you can see the Hulk-like frame of Mr. Ross Kemp. Look at the guns. Are you been working out a lot? You look really stacked.
Unemployed, that's what they call it. Unemployable, possibly.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Who would say no to you? You'd kill him.
You would. Yeah. Well, this is it.
I think that's how you got that game show. I think I should do it. Oh, I'm not sure. I said, I think I should do it. It's yours.
Yeah. When
is that a truth or is that a lie?
I was just saying then as well, it is funny that you go nose to nose with hardened criminals and crazy people, and then you do this lovely, fluffy game show on the telly. It's a lovely juxtaposition. Is that the right?
It's a yang to my yin. Yin to my yang.
I wouldn't have said it. I don't know about your yang, but how are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm just depressed about the weather. Can I be really honest?
Yeah.
It got me down this morning. I looked out. I went, oh, really?
Yeah.
Does summer exist in this country anymore?
We've had that now, haven't we? That's gone.
Do you reckon? Do you know what?
Yeah,
I can't face it. I just don't want to go dark.
Do you and the missus ever go on holiday?
What do you mean holiday? Do you know what? I worked it out, right? With 3 kids under the age of 10, I did not lay flat until I fell asleep. There were sun loungers in front of me that I never touched.
Yeah.
Because you're picking something out of the pool. You're stopping someone from falling in the pool or getting them out of the pool.
Can't you and the missus go away for 3 days or something and
What, and kill each other?
What?
Or attempt to. No is the answer.
I'd love to see Ross getting told off by his missus. Wouldn't you like to see that?
It's a regular occurrence.
It's another TV show in that.
You could just rig my house, mate. I wouldn't need to go away. It's a hostile environment, let's be honest.
Tell you what, it'd be a great fly in the wall documentary though, wouldn't it?
Home with the Kemps.
Like the Osbournes, but scarier.
Yeah.
Just bring your body home.
Right, so here we go, right? It's always a dream having Ross on because I just said on the air, I said, Ross and I are very, very, very fond of each other. And then he comes on the show and I rip the mickey out of him for doing these stupid shows where he basically goes up to people in jail and goes, what are you in for? Murdering big board-headed people? Oh, that's right. And I'm like, why would you do it? So let's talk about your new show. Tell everyone what your new friendly TV show is about, Ross.
It's Britain and the Mafia.
Britain and the Mafia, because that's who you want to get involved with.
Absolutely. Let's rile the Mafia.
Well, we're not going to. Hopefully, I really don't want to rile them because for obvious reasons. When if you're doing a program in Afghanistan, once you get on a plane, you land back at Bryce Norton, you're back in the UK.
Sure.
The issue with this is they're invisible toes, and you don't know whether you're stepping on them or not. I've obviously attempted not to. And I think it's interesting to look at Britain's relationship with organised crime groups through the years. And, yeah, I mean, they've always been there. Obviously, the Mafia is Sicilian. It actually means swagger.
Does it really?
Man of bravado.
I never knew that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, but it's changed. And if you look at the definition of it, it then changed to organised crime group from Italy or the United States of America and elsewhere. And what I rapidly find out elsewhere is everywhere.
Right.
Wow.
So we start off in the UK, we go to the United States of America. I meet people like George the Cowboy, Monterano, who did 33 years inside, the first 3 in solitary and never gave up.
Wow.
Whoa. And then I meet
3 years in solitary confinement.
3 years to start off with.
Jeepers.
That's going to make you normal.
Oh, yeah.
And then and he was the god's son, so his godfather literally was Angelo Bruno, the head of the Philly mob. He had massive connections with Ronnie and Reggie.
Wow.
So Ronnie came over and stayed in Philly. They realised just how unhinged he was. They wanted to get him out. Then they got arrested, and then they had to bribe people in the court in Philadelphia and get him on a plane and get him out.
Wow.
Our connections to the Mafia, the American mob go back to gambling. So gambling was illegal in the UK.
Right.
a bunch of very posh chaps were raided at a house in Knightsbridge where there was an illegal casino. They overturned the law, hence we have all the betting shops we have now and the casinos we have. But there was no gambling on the East Coast of the United States of America, apart from in Vegas, which is on the West Coast. So they would send junkets over here. People would pay hundreds of thousands of pounds to come over here and gamble big. And so therefore the mob here, organised crime groups here, joined with organised crime groups in the United States of America, which were members of the Five Families. And also Prohibition, we aided and abetted in that in terms of sending whiskey and legal alcohol into the United States of America where there was a great demand. And I think what you find out about the mob, organised crime groups, is they're filling holes in markets where there's legalisation. So, for instance, the US mob saw the end of Prohibition and then started flooding certain areas of the United States of America with heroin.
Right.
So they're always generally one step ahead.
Right, supply and demand.
Yeah, and human nature, I guess. Heavy? Too heavy this
Do you know what it is? It's not that. It's fascinating.
It's fascinating, yeah.
That's the thing.
Here's a guy, Jenny Panzutto. Right, Jenny is still alive remarkably, but he lived on a caravan site in Preston while he was driving back to Naples to shoot people at the weekend.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And I said to him, can you remember how many people you've killed? And he went, I cannot remember. I said, do you still see their faces? And he went, no. Sometimes at night, I hear their bodies hitting the ground.
Wow. And his name's Jenny?
Jenny Panzutto. Loved by
Do you want to take the mickey out of him, Tom? Do you?
No. I'm just
I think Jenny's a proper good man's name.
My name's James Robinson, if there's any trouble.
Anyway, let's talk about Bridge of Lies.
Yeah, that sounds...
So this is
fascinating
launches
stuff,
today, this show, and it's a Sky History.
Yeah, Sky History. I think it's tomorrow night, 9 p.m.
Right.
Is it Tuesday tomorrow? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Tuesday night, 9 p.m, Sky History, and it's 5 programmes. And we go from here to the States, to Colombia, to Spain, to Italy, and then back to here.
Here's a question. This is a weird question because you know my mind's a bit
Yes.
odd. Is the word mafia, is it like the champagne, as in... you say, we're part of the, let's say, Leeds Mafia, but they're like, no, you're not the Mafia because you can only be the Mafia if you come from Italy or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
you can only be the real Mafia if you're from Sicily, the Cosa Nostra, but it's become a word that's an umbrella word for organised crime. And because we go so far and look at organised crime connections to the UK, it becomes more than just one. So we end up in Colombia. Here's another one for you. Jesus Hanau, the first £1 billion drug dealer in Hendon, bus driver.
Wow.
What?
He had 5 houses on his bus route, each of them stuffed with £50 notes, and he'd get people to come over from Colombia to monitor the houses for him because he was driving his bus.
Stop it.
That's incredible.
What era would this be?
I spoke to him. He's in La Picota prison, which is a prison I went to last year to make a programme that probably is never going to see the light of day, sadly. So this was about 20 years ago. Yeah.
So he's driving a bus. He's just a bus driver.
He's a bus driver.
But he's also an
He
international...
had a cleaning company. He cleaned people's houses, with his wife and stuff.
Right.
But he also was the biggest importer of cocaine into the UK.
Wow.
That's how you keep it.
That's a movie, that is.
Isn't it?
Well, I tell you, he'd be up for it because he's waiting extradition to the United States of America, and he'll never come out once he gets back there.
Well,
Or goes back there.
that's right. That's quick. Let's get
Get in quick.
Are they scary when you chat to them? Or are they just completely
There's a
normal?
mixture, and oh god, sorry, I shouldn't say that word, but they are fascinating. They are
Charismatic as
particularly
well, I
the
see,
Americans are always really good to talk to. But I also speak to Fernando Rodriguez, who is the son of Gilberto, who ran the Cali cartel. So they took down Pablo Escobar, aided and abetted by people allegedly say parts of the Colombian government. But what they did, as soon as they took him out of the frame, they became number one.
Yeah.
But they ran away to Spain. They went into they're very clever. He was called the chess player, his father. He was so good at playing the system. But they went from being, they owned a chemist shop. They burnt it down. They took all the good stuff out, burnt it down. With the money from that, they bought their first consignment of cocaine, it's called a kamikaze run into the States, sold it, made enough money to buy a lot more cocaine, and then within about 6 months they were making $1 billion a month.
That doesn't even make sense.
$1 billion a month, Chris, then, in the 80s.
Wow.
So you may as well make it 5 billion, 3.4 billion.
Incredible.
Good Lord. I thought it was exciting trying to give away £25,000 this morning.
You know what? This is incredible stuff.
It's very interesting. And as well, because I would imagine, as Dom says, some of these people are scary. Some of them probably don't seem that scary. Some of them are probably quite likeable.
That's why I say it's invisible toes. You don't know what you're treading on, so you just have to be very, very careful at all times.
Very respectful to everybody.
Yeah, and I also ended up the Mount Cauca Mountains with the Colombian Special Forces without proper night vision. Well, no night vision, no proper GPS.
No night vision? Oh, my God, Ross. What? I wouldn't. I just said no. I wouldn't have gone. You'll be telling me next there was no trailer.
Well, I tell you what I did. I lost the nail off my big toe on my left foot. Because going up a mountain's one thing, but stumbling down it at night time is another. And you know what? I was sweating so much. There's snake garters on, body armour, helmet, and I'm just like a shower. Looks like I weed myself in the pan.
And who are you with? Who are you with at this point as you're coming down the mountain?
I'm with Johnny McDevitt, local fixer, and I'm with Colombian Special Forces.
So when you're with the Colombian Special Forces and your toenail falls off, you can't really moan about it.
No, my toenails.
Hang on, lads. Hang on.
And also, I'm a bit older for all this. I'm just getting too old for it, Chris.
No, nonsense.
Game show.
Oh, the Brit. This is it. Bridge of Lies, which is flying. That's doing so well. So this is tomorrow night. You say on Sky History. Yeah. So this is Ross Kemp, Mafia in Britain. There's also a book which will be out next week that goes with it. So this is all about what happens and tracing the story of the Mafia over the last 100 years. Lots of info that didn't make it into the TV show. Good God, I'm fascinated to know what didn't make it into the TV show. But and you can get that next week, and it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we're fascinated by things that we don't know about.
Yeah.
So that's why prison docs do so well, I guess, because hopefully most of us avoid going to prison. Anything we don't know about, we're fascinated by, which it's human nature, isn't it? So, and I wouldn't say I'm lifting the lid off the Mafia as it sits right now, because I'd end up in trouble.
Yeah.
Just to look at how they have metamorphosized, if that's a word, over the last 100 years that is fascinating.
Well, it's the old story of the perfect crime, committing the perfect crime, isn't it? If you're a bus driver and then somehow, for whatever reason, you get into selling a bit of drugs or moving some drugs around, and then you start getting cash and you don't know what to do with it, so you buy a house and you fill the walls full of cash, and then you have to buy another house and this, that and the other, and you're driving a bus every day and you're going for a pint on a Friday night with Jeff and Tony and whatnot. You're basically, at some point, don't you want to go, can I tell you what I did? Because it's probably brilliant.
A lot of people aren't going to believe you, are they?
No, they
of course not.
And also hiding in plain sight, aren't you?
It's all about that. And apparently you'd open the door, and you could only open the door a bit because you had to come round it because the £50 notes wouldn't let you open the door. You couldn't get into the bedrooms and you couldn't go up the stairs.
That's amazing.
And that's 5 houses.
Wow.
That's the issue. One of the biggest issues that a lot of people, and that particularly them, was just where do you get rid of it?
Yeah. I bet he was never late for work.
No.
I bet he was.
I
bet his boss is probably like, he's one of the best drivers we ever had.
Absolutely.
And the
never
kindest. He used to turn up at Colombian football matches. So the editor, bizarrely, knew him as a kid, and he would come along and he'd throw a few quid out. I wouldn't go mad because it would draw attention.
Yes.
But he'd pay for people's boots if they didn't have boots, and he'd pay for their shirts and the team shirts and stuff.
It is brilliant. It's fun. But Henry Hill, with the guy...
I was about to say, it's like
Goodfellas.
Well, we meet Crazy Sal Polizzi, right? Crazy Sal was in the bar. You remember the famous thing where they get rid of...
Do you call him Crazy Sal or do you call him Sal?
I call him Sal.
Mr. Sal.
You're looking crazy.
Just call him Sal.
Again, he said when they first watched The Godfather, they went out and robbed a truck full of cigarettes to celebrate.
Which isn't funny, of course.
Which isn't funny.
It's not funny, but it's a fact.
And it's terrible and all of that, because crime is bad.
Yeah. Crime doesn't pay.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating. And I can't wait to see it. And how many episodes is it? 5?
5, yeah.
I can't wait to watch it.
Do you come up with it, Rod? Do you say, I'm interested?
Because he's insane.
No. This was definitely put to me, and I'd avoided it for a long time. And in its context, it was totally history. But when you're up a mountain, you're at 4,000 feet at 2,300, and you think you're getting back at 0,300.
Yeah.
But actually, you don't get back to 0,800. You're sweaty and you're grimy and you're worried you're going to be kidnapped by the local drug dealers. It's not a history program.
No, it feels very now. Probably.
Yeah.
And all he's worried about is his toenail.
Exactement.
Yeah.
You're nuts. You really are.
Yeah.
Would you rather go off and do all that again or have a Barney with the missus?
Do that again. You know that.
I know. Oh man, it's brilliant. So listen, love it to see you. And it's it. Like on the health front, are you working out a lot? Because you look, you're getting bigger.
I'm getting older, and I think
bigger.
you've just got to do as much as you can when you can. Because like this week, I'm not going to get a chance to go in, and it does bring me down if I don't do it.
Right.
And also, it allows me to have my red wine. So,
and you need
You
that.
do like your red wine, don't you?
I do like it. Pinot Noir.
Oh, are you Pinot Noir, man?
I am, very much so. It's thinner. I don't like the sticky Syrahs.
It's lighter.
It's a bit less Benlin, a bit more.
I've sat with Ross before and had a few drinks on a few occasions.
Yeah.
And
Red wine comes out?
he can put it away.
Oh, yeah.
He can hide that red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
unfortunately.
really can.
It's getting harder as I get older, though.
Well, that's none of my business. Well done. That's those tablets you're taking.
We're in so much trouble.
When are you? So what are you doing for the rest of the day? You're just doing interviews and
Doing
plugging the show.
publicity today, training in the morning. I've got a costume fitting for something on Tuesday afternoon. I'm doing.
Oh no, you don't.
Oh, yes, I do. And then I've got 2 days of doing a job, which I mentioned earlier, but I can't mention.
Okay.
And then on Friday, I'm doing a documentary that's been ongoing about something that I can't mention, but it's got nothing to do with danger.
Oh
That's
God!
news
Please
for
let
you.
me Ross Kemp looks at flowers or something like that.
Gardening with Ross Kemp.
What I'll say is this: interviewing actors is often trickier than interviewing members or former members of the Mafia.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that. So, Ross Kemp, Mafia and Britain. This sounds absolutely fascinating. Starting on Sky History. Oh, I hope they do that thing where you can watch them all in one hit.
You do. They can. You can.
Oh,
You can.
good, yeah.
Binge.
Hey. Oh, sorry. I wondered what you said.
Language paper. Ross, I do apologise for paper.
Just came out with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ross Kemp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radio